Okay, it says I'm live. Let's see if the microphone is going to work. Sorry about that, everyone. Hopefully it works this time. Get my laptop back up and running. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. It's running a little slow, I see that. I might have to change internet services. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, if you can hear me, my name is TeresaLouise, and I don't chat if you can't hear me. Let's see. Okay, I don't have anybody on with me yet, so let me see if I turn this up. Okay, I can hear me. Okay, yeah, I can hear me. Good. All right. I don't know what happened in that last one, so hopefully people can re-find me. That would be good. Okay, here we are. We're back. Hey, Brenda. Hopefully, yes, can hear you now. Great. Thank you, Linda. Hello. Hi, Melanie. Hello, Susan. Is that Susan, you're out? Looks like her picture anyway. But you changed her name, the Quirky Hand Quilter. Yeah, I bet that's Susan. Hi, Meryl. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Nancy. Hello, June. Susan says yes. Awesome. Hi, Mary. Well, I hope that other live closed down because I commanded it to close down. But YouTube does not always follow my commands, you know, right? Or I should say it never does. So hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Um, so, yeah. Sorry I haven't been live for a while. You know, life happens, but all is well. I'm well. Will is well. Annie is well. Brandon is okay. So I thought I would just jump on here for a little bit and, yeah, do an update. And it's cold upstairs. Cold upstairs. We've had a lot of power problems. We went 5 days without power. 5 days. So luckily, our little generator, boy, did it do good. And I wish I knew what kind it was so I could tell you. But yeah, it ran almost constantly for 5 days. Um, so I feel very, very grateful for that. Now, I really wasn't able to get it much warmer than about 60 in the house because our pellet stove is in the basement and it's really hard to get that heat up. And no way can I get upstairs warm. So about 60 degrees, which is better than, you know, Zero, right? Um, so after the 5 days, the power came back on for like a day and a half, and then it went off again. So it was off for another 2 days. So it's just been real crazy with the power outages. And then normally, uh, when the power goes out, we will still have internet, but for whatever reasons at the substations or whatever, their generators quit working, and so we had no internet either. So no TV whatsoever. I was just really happy that I had a lot of books downloaded, so I got a lot of reading done. Yeah, or I listened to a lot of books. Mostly all the books I've heard before because I didn't have anything new downloaded, but that's okay. I have, probably over 300 audiobooks, and not all of those have I bought. Some of them are like free. But what I found out is if you have downloaded free books, if the Audible decides they're no longer free, then you can't listen to them anymore, even if you had them downloaded. So, yeah, that's a shitty deal. Okay, let's see what we have. Hey, Joyce. Hi, Helen. um, I hate these little pop-ups. They go right in front of the chat. Hi, Willa. I know I'm talking. I must be talking to you, huh? Let's see who else we have. Hi, Polly. Yeah, 60 beats freezing temperatures. Absolutely. Hi, Linda. So, anyway, um, that first time the power went out was because of that really bad windstorm we had. Oh my goodness. And then the rain, all that rain. So there was a lot of flooding over in Washington, Oregon, Idaho. So the rain, the wind. I had a power pole fall down right out here. So that was another day of our power being out. And then our neighbors had a power pole go down. Yeah. And I want to say our power company has a small customer base, but they really try really hard to get you back up and running, But if you have a town that has, 5,000 people in it, and that's your customer base, and then you have another town that has 150 or 700 customers, which town are you going to get going first? Are you going to the one that has the hospitals and the police stations and the senior centers and all that? Yeah, that's the one you're going to get going first. So what they do is they work primarily, have 75% of the workers in the bigger town trying to get power back up, and then they send somebody out here, and we are at the end of the road. So they take inventory of what needs to be done, and that probably takes a couple of days. So it's cold, it's snowing, it's raining. I would not want to be a lineman out here, I can tell you that. So once they got to work on it, it was back up and running fairly quickly, considering how many power poles were down. But and as soon as the power came back on, the internet came back on because it no longer had to rely on their generator. So whoever owns the internet company didn't want to drive all the way out here from Moscow to bring more fuel or restart the generator for internet. So I might be looking for a new internet company because what I understand, there's like 3 or 4 internet, and it's satellite, available to this area. And there were several people that still had internet, uh, but they were on different, on a different company. But anyway, so then you're just playing catch up, It's a lot of work when you don't have power, believe it or not, because you're feeding the wood stove, you're heating water. I finally took a sponge bath because I'm like, they had estimated that it was going to be like another 3 or 4 days. And so I'm like, well, I can't, I'm not going to do that. So I heated up water, took a old fashioned bath, spun bath, and at least I got my hair washed too, that kind of thing. But it was cold. I thought about putting the hot water in the bathtub, but I thought, oh my God, there's no way I can sit in the bathtub when it's, 55 degrees in the house or 60 degrees. There's just no way. That would have been way too cold. Yeah, it was back on by Christmas, so that was good. But I had plans for, what to cook for Christmas, if I couldn't use my oven and all that stuff, So it all worked out. And that's one of the things I try to prepare for is to have foods that are pretty easy to heat to cook, Um, nothing really in the oven. I mean, I could put, like, I have baked a cake in the barbecuer, and it works pretty good actually. You just, got to heat it up. And anyway, it does work. So it's doable. And of course, I have cooked ribs and all that kind of stuff in the barbecuer. But it was so cold out. I didn't really want to go stand out on the porch in the cold uh, to cook. So we have one of those camp stove cookers. It runs on propane, and it's like 2 burners. And so Brandon hooked it up, set it up in the kitchen and hooked it into propane tank. And so that's what I used to cook on. When I had a wood stove, I used to would cook on that, but you can't really do that on a pellet stove. So okay, Susan. Bye. Thanks for coming. Hey, Quilter. Quilter. See, I got another pop-up blocking my way. Here's another one. Dang it. I need to figure out how to block pop-ups. June had a blizzard yesterday, 2 inches of snow, high winds, very cold. Hi, Kathy. Quilter, see good. Hello. Hey. Hey, so yeah, haven't seen you guys in a long time. Hope all is well with you guys. Oh my goodness, Kathy. She said, I know exactly how you feel. Last year, our power was out for over 2 days. We had to go out into the car to warm up and try to sleep. It was horrible. Oh, that does sound terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good to see you. So, yeah. So glad you popped in. Haven't seen you in a while. So what did I do with the power out for so many days, you know? Because it's pretty boring. You can't watch TV or nothing like that. Really can't sew. You could crochet, you know, I could crochet, cross stitch. You know, there were other things you can do for sure. Um, but I got out my coloring pencils and my color books and I colored. Yeah. Because I could just, I have one of those little lap electric blankets. Okay. And if I left it on low, the generator did fine. So I would heat the blanket up, you know. And I got all my colored pencils out and just I got my coloring books out and yeah, I colored. That's what I did. It was fun. Really, it was. I guess I could have got my cross stitch out. Probably should have done a little bit of that too because I have a lot of UFOs in cross stitch. But hi, Jan. Oh, yeah, the Trendle sewing machine. Yeah, if I had one of those, probably, but it was too cold upstairs to even really be up here. And I didn't really have any way to heat it, so I, I pretty much had to stay downstairs. There's a dog barking outside. What the heck? It's not one of ours. I don't know what he's barking at. What is Zipper barking at? Yeah, it's the neighbor's dog. So I just wanted to show you. I know this isn't sewing, but you know, what the heck. It's creative. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had a Trendle machine, I probably wouldn't use it anyway. So I have a couple of crazy color books, okay? They, Kirby Rose Ann's. This one and this one. And I mostly colored in this one right here. And it's kind of, you know, let me show you some pictures. Kind of a crazy color book. So, like it's got all kinds of, Willa, hush up. It's got real animals and imitation animals in it, right? All right, so this is the book I mainly use. And then I have like, those are my colored pencils. So I have this 36 Prism color, and it's, you know, they're very thin. The dogs are barking at a dog from down that's outside. Willa. Shh. So these are really thin, and they're really hard Yeah, they're really hard pencils. Then I have these. There's 36 of them. And they're Premier by the same maker. So basically, most of mine are by Prism Colors. I also have this Fiber Castell pencils. There's 24 of them. They're polychromatics. They're made in Germany. And these, I'm not sure where they're made. Forgot to turn my do not disturb thing off on my phone. Hold on a second. What's that? I'm surprised you heard the phone ring. Sorry, you guys. Brandon, that was the doctor's office, and Brandon can't hear, so I had to talk to him. I should have left him a note. Anyway, then this set is watercolor. So there's 36 in here. And the watercolor is really difficult to tell by the pencil what color it is. So, I mean, you can kind of get an idea, right? You can kind of get an idea, but it's not the true color. So in the back of the book, I did a color swab thing. So I just wrote down what color it was, and then, you know, just take a pencil and then I took water, because the color looks totally different after you put water on it. So I used this quite a bit when I was selecting colors. Now, what I found out, this isn't watercolor paper, but it's very heavy paper. And it worked just fine with the watercolor pencils, as long as you didn't put too much water down. You couldn't put like pre-water, you know, how you do with watercoloring paint. So I didn't do that, but so I would color in the spot and then use a little bit of water to brighten the paint up. So like the first one I did with the watercolors was this rooster, and it's really, really bright. And everything in the background that's not the rooster, I did with a regular pencil. But yeah, it's a lot brighter, really stood out a lot more. So I like that for sure. So that was a lot of fun. And it warped the paper a little bit, but not too bad really. And it did not bleed through to the other side. So I was happy about that. The other thing I want to do with these is with the other dry pencils, because they all feel different when you use them, right? Like these really thin ones are great for little teeny areas. But if you want to do up a bunch of space, you got a lot more space, than these Premier ones are a little bit better, or even the Faber-Castell ones are better to use, because the color part here is a lot heavier. Now, I noticed the difference between these two brands. This one, which is the Premier Prism, is a little, I'm going to call it drier, meaning not as much wax. And the Faber-Castell is waxier, I think, or it could be vice versa. Hold on a second. Yeah, the Faber-Castell is waxier. And you can, you know, feel it when you're drawing, right? They don't really smudge, and so that's good. Anyway, that is what I was doing the last couple of weeks. And I'll show you a couple that I've been working on, because I know you just really want to see. Right? This is a fun coloring book. Now this one, they do leave you some pages where they, you know, he wants you to color or draw the characters in. So I started doing that a little bit too, and that was a lot of fun. I haven't finished it, so this is a ram, and they left the horns blank, so you fill it in. So that's what I started doing, is filling that in. And I'm just using a ballpoint pen to do that. And that was fun. I enjoy doing that. And then here's one with a Stampede. This one I just used all the dry pencils. And I used just pretty much colors that were normal animal colors, right? Here's another one. And then, oh, I finished this rhino yesterday. This was a lot of fun. This was all dry pencil, no colored watercolors. And I want to do this one probably next, a cheetah. And let's see. Oh, no, not next. I'm working on this one with the owl. But I'm thinking about doing this owl with the watercolors. But it might stand out more than the dry color. So maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. Okay, so I'm also working on this one. It's the whale. Let's see. I kind of skip around a lot because, you know, I get bored. Oh, so this one is a bear. Now, I haven't finished the bear's face yet because I'm thinking I want to finish it with the watercolor. I've done a little bit of shading on it, but yeah, I think I want to finish it with the watercolor. Here's some octopus. I haven't done anything on that one. This is a fun book. I do like it. And I used to color a lot when I was a kid. I loved getting color books and all that, color crayons. Here's this one. This is a baboon. So that's that color book. Now I haven't done very much in this other one. This one's, ooh, this one's really cool too. This one is more like steampunk type stuff, or there is steampunk. Much smaller. And then there's buildings, like buildings with a gorilla. Yeah, so I'll have to take this one downstairs. Here is, okay, so here's two skeletons. And one is with just like leaves and flowers and stuff like that. And then the one on this side is more steampunk, if you know what steampunk is. So this is a pretty cool book. Oh, this, I like this panda. So steampunk will have more mechanical type things in it. Yeah, this is a nice book. I like it. Like, I don't know if you can see this or not, but One side of the owl is steampunk, and then the rest of it is just normal. Hey, Mona. Thanks, Joyce. Yeah, I have the gel pens, Lisa, but um, I don't really like using them for this coloring book. Doesn't work out too well. This is kind of interesting. This guy has really got an imagination. These are snails with houses on them. Look at that. It's kind of funny. So anyway, if you're into coloring, this is a couple of really nice color books. And I would, if you're just looking to get some pencils, I would definitely get these sharper ones. They're thinner. You can get the points really sharp and they don't break so much. I would get this one because these are less expensive than the Faber-Castell or Faber-Castell. But you got to be really careful when you sharpen these premieres because the lead breaks. Well, I called it lead, but it's not lead, right? But it breaks really easy. So you got to be really super careful when you sharpen them. Okay. So what I try to do is if I'm coloring in a big area, I lay the pencil on its side. So I'm sharpening it that way. And this does come with a little sharpener, but it doesn't last very long. It dulls up really fast. So, in fact, I need to get a pencil sharpener that is better than that. All right, the other set, so those two I would get. The other set of color pencils I have are these. And these are ink tints. So I want to try these and see how they do. So you do activate this with water, or you can. There's other mediums you could use too. I haven't really used these all that much. I bought them to for the collage quilts and stuff like that. But I think I will play with them a little bit with these color books just to get the hang of doing them, using them. So I have a feeling that the color will be very intense using these too. And that's all. I think that's all the colored pencils that I have. And well, unless you count these that I've had for, years. So I wanted to show you a couple of other color books I have. Now, I have the Lewis and Clark Expedition coloring book. And now these coloring books are for adults. And this one is Folk Costumes of Europe. These two color books, my grandmother got me for Christmas one year. These are the last Christmas present that I think I ever got from her. So I have had these books for a long time, okay? And I think I used crayons. Yeah, mostly crayons in this. Crayons. So So more detailed type color book. These are a lot of fun. Here's another picture. See, I like to color, right? What can I say? Here's another one. And yeah, so these, I will probably keep these for forever because, my grandmother got them for me. All right, so that's those two. And I think I might have Brandon interested in coloring a little bit. Okay, I have not done this coloring book. I forgot I actually had it. Oh, I did do one picture. In the beginning, coloring creations. So this is very detailed, oriented. It's kind of like the first two that I showed you, but not quite as detailed. I don't think it's as nice a book as those first two. All right, now these two color books have to do with quilting. I know, right? So, giant coloring activity color book. How would this be for quilting? You may ask. All right. So here, this is for little kids. So all the pictures are kind of, on that scale. Right? Here's a cute little dog. But I didn't buy these to color. Now, if a little kid happened to come over and wanted color, I would let them color in this book. But I bought this for applique. Okay? Because I thought if I was doing a little kid's quilt, what if I wanted to applique a dog or a cat or, a turtle, something like that? I could use this book for applique. And I think I only paid like $3 or $4 for this. And there's a lot of pages in here, so there's a lot of possible applique. This would be really easy to turn into applique. So that's just a recommendation for you guys, is to buy color books to do for applique designs. This Winnie the Pooh is, the pictures aren't quite as big as that last one, but there's still some big pictures in here, like Piglet. So I could use that for applique. And Tigger, and Winnie the Pooh, right? Could use all of those for applique. I might have to color some of these. This one would be a good one for me to color because it's so detailed, right? Got to have those. Okay, here's a really good picture of Winnie the Pooh that would be great for applique. That one. Or even this one with his nose in there. How cute would that look on a baby blanket or a baby quilt? right? That would be so darn cute. Maybe we ought to do some of that next year. This is Disney Winnie the Pooh. Big Fun Book of Color. Friends are fun. I used to like to watch Winnie the Pooh when I was little. Did you guys watch Winnie the Pooh? Oh, here's Tigger and the rabbit. Both of those could be for applique. In fact, this reminds me of some of the cartoons on TV. Oh, and here's the owl. Yeah, that one brings back a lot of memories. So that is fun. So this is, these coloring books, and there's Christmas color books, and, there's all kinds of color books. So if you are interested in doing that, in fact, I think the next time I go to town, or next time I think about it, when I'm in town, I'm going to see if I can find one that has Christmas stuff, because that would be really handy also. So maybe I'll put this on the 2026 projects thing, and we could figure out how to do appliques from coloring books. And you could do some applique from these coloring books. You don't have to pick up all of the detail, just the basic detail like this one. That would work pretty good for applique. In fact, you could even go, less detail. And you could also do this as collage. This would be a good pattern for a collage quilt. Be a really good pattern for collage. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. Now, let me look at the chat. So my phone, I see, still is elongating the video. I don't know what YouTube is doing. Hi, Chris. There probably is copyright issues, but as long as I'm not selling it, then that should not be an issue. If I'm just using it for like applique on my own quilts or quilts that I'm giving away, I'm not selling, there shouldn't be a problem. But if you're concerned about it, I would check into it for sure. Winnie the Pooh is back in style now. Did he ever go out of style? Hey, Geraldine. Oh, good idea, Lisa. She puts them in her scan and cut. Makes great applique. Cool. Hey, Jewel. How you doing? Let me see if I can get my computer to scan. Hey, Katie. Hey, Suzanne. So the only color books I got for Christmas, Kathy, were those two that I showed you from my grandmother. These two. And, you know, it was a long time ago. You know, over 30 years ago. The rest of them I just picked up at the drugstore. Our drugstore has, it's like, you know, I don't know, what do you call it? It has a little bit of everything in there. All kinds of craft stuff and cards and five and dime. Joyce says, I'm going to have to find my sister's coloring books. This makes me want to color. Yeah, when I was sitting there coloring last night, Brandon comes over and is looking at it. And he's like, is that color by number? And I said, no. I think if it would have been color by number, he might have done it. I said, no, you just pick your own colors. And anyway, I'm going to take these other color books downstairs and see if I can't tempt him into doing a little bit of coloring. Now, you know, a couple of years ago, I don't know if some of you remember, he got us some of those paint by number, and that was a lot of fun. And he did that. So right now he's cleaning his kitchen table area where he does his projects, and he's making a sheath for another knife. He likes to do that. So I think when he gets that done, he'll probably either do another, set up a paint by number, or maybe I can get him to color. I don't know. It's better than sitting around doing nothing, right? So what I'm going to try to plan on, my goals is, first of all, is to just get the room cleaned back up. Get all the areas cleaned up. And then I'm going to go through the closet. Now, in the closet, it's a big walk-in closet, right? There are quilt tops that are hanging up that need to be quilted. There are projects that are kitted up, that I kitted up, or I bought kits. And then there are UFOs, maybe some whip. Most of the times the whips are out here. So in the closet are UFOs. So I want to go through all of that. And I'm going to look at all the ones that I've kitted up and make sure there's something that I still want to do. And if they are, it's going to go on a list. So I'm going to, you know, I want to have everything listed out for next year. You know, what I have going on, right? And then try to get a little more organized. Now, I do this at the first of every year, and it lasts like, I don't know, 3 months, maybe. And then, you know, I squirrel. I'm like, oh, there's a new project. That looks good. I need all the stuff for that. Right? So that's kind of my plan at this point. Then I'm, you know, do the same thing over here, go through all these whips. Some of them have turned into UFOs. Do I leave them out here? Do I put them in there? You know, if I do have a UFO, now I know I have one in there in the closet that's like almost 10 years old. am I ever really going to finish it? So I might get rid of that, meaning I'll give it away, just give it a new home. Um, so I might end up with a big pile over here of stuff that I want to give to you. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. And let you all deal with it. I think that sounds like a great idea. Um, yeah, I kind of have the spring cleaning bug, or, you know, the organization bug, downsizing bug, you know. I want to, and I'm sure I've talked about this before. I'd like to get rid of stuff that I'm not using now. I did start doing that with the wind chimes and other things, so I need to keep that going. The problem has been, part of the problem is that well, I just went through a really bad fibromyalgia flare up that lasted like 3 weeks. And I'm not sure, I want to say it was probably due to the extreme cold change. Um, it usually happens to me at the beginning of winter when, you know, it starts to get really cold and stays cold. Um, and then, you know, when my heart does its little thing, you don't really feel like doing anything during that. That's one reason why I started coloring downstairs. And coloring is really relaxing. There's no pressure, right? No stress. So anyway, so that's kind of my plan. I was thinking about, oh, no wonder I can't see the chat. Ding. And once I get them written down just in this notebook, I'm thinking about switching them over to one of these others. Okay, so I have this book, Quilter's Project Planner. I really like this book, but I don't always use it. I also have the Quilting Journal. And then we got a new one, the Quilt Project book. These two are from the Fat Quarter Shop. So, like this one, I wrote UFOs on it. So maybe I could do this one, whips, or something, you know, I don't know. Sometimes there's such a thing as being over organized. And then when that happens, which is, what book is that in, right? So I would just like it all in one spot. So I'm thinking just about getting a 3-ring binder or something, you know, and having different sections for all this stuff. And then I only have to look one place. Now, I'm thinking about doing let me just say, if you're looking for a quilter's planner book, I like this one because it doesn't have dates. Okay. So even though there's a calendar for the year, it's undated, which is good. So you could pick up and start using it again whenever you want to. It has nice sheets for doing your projects, like here. And this book isn't that expensive. It's around 20 bucks maybe, I think. It also has a tracking log. It has a comment section or contacts section. It has a reference guide in the back. And yeah, if I was to get one again, I'd get another one of these. The only thing is I wish it was a 3-ring binder so I could, you know, change things around, move things around. For me, these are just too small, you know. So maybe I'll just, I haven't even used this one at all. I might just give this one away. Okay. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, it could be. Isn't disorganization a sign of intelligence? I like that one. I use a paper planner religiously. Otherwise, I would have to total chaos. Yeah. I had another planner. I saw that somewhere. Let's see. This is just a regular planner with the calendar and all that, right? And it's pretty nice, but I, you know, didn't use it as well as I should have. You know, which is really strange because when I worked, when I was at work, I did a planner every day. I had to use a planner. Maybe that's why I don't use them so much anymore, because I had to when I worked. I got some other books from these are from the Sew Sampler box. Yeah, these are just paper. We got these fabric label stickers from the Fat Quarter Shop too. So you could use those to help you organize. So, yeah, the main thing is to get things cleaned up first. And then, once I get kind of cleaned up in general, I'll just go by section and go through more in depth and put things in a tote that I'm not using. And then I'm just going to do giveaways. No, the full-size planner. The Quilter's Project Planner. Stash Books. ctpub.com. Came from Amazon. It's called Quilter's Project Planner. Is that the one you're talking about, Katie? Hey, Pat, how are you doing? One of the things I'm thinking about doing next year is some of the blocks that's in the back of this book, and do like a block of the month type thing. So if you have this reference tool, there's a bunch of quilt blocks in the back. We could start out with the really easy ones and then work up to the more difficult. And there's like 20 blocks. So thinking about doing that. So if you don't have this book, you can get it over on Amazon or any quilt store. You know, you can find it everywhere. Quilter's Reference Tool. It's all in one. And even if you don't want to do the sew along, this book has so much great information in it. Highly recommend it. All right. And Joy says she has that book and it's helped her tremendously. Hey Missy, how you doing? Okay, so that's basically it. I haven't worked on the horse or the dog, so I don't have any updates on that. So I'm probably going to let you guys go. I just wanted to come on here and say hi and let you know I was still kicking, and yeah. Once I have things, figured out for next year and what's going on in here, I'll let you know. And maybe we can do a whip day, UFO day, whatever, during the week. Of course, I still want to do Sundays. So maybe on Sundays we can do a block or something. Oh, hey, Jamie. You just got here, of course. Yeah, sorry. I should have called you. Said I'm coming on. Yeah, I need to go to the, post office and probably stop at the store, do a few things. If I can get the car doors open. It is so cold. The last time I checked the weather, it was 17 degrees, which is just, too cold for me, right? I've turned the heater up in here, but it takes a while to warm things back up. Our weather here is a lot different than in Lewiston. Lewiston is definitely warmer than here. So I would say it's 10 to 20 degrees warmer in Lewiston than it is in Elk City, the elevation. So yesterday it was 74 and it's 20. Brr. Oh, I've seen some videos of that, Pat, of that thick ice. Not good. And then I heard there was a, they call it a bomb cyclone, which is back northeast United States. That does not sound like fun at all. Mona said it was 58 yesterday and it's snowing like crazy now. We have sunshine, but it's cold. Yeah. We're supposed to get more rain or snow in a few days. So just fingers crossed that the power stays on. No more power outs. Right? No more power outs. 48 in Greenland? God, Katie, you're warmer than me. Oh boy. Oh, that's nice. Where is that at? 72 degrees. I would like that. I would love that. Open the door, Katie. I don't know why you can't turn the heat down in the house. I know you have heat in the floors, but I would think that would be adjustable. Oh, okay. Is that in Arizona? Yeah, I get you. Takes a while to cool down or warm up. That's how my little heater is here. It's one of those oil heaters, like a radiator, oil radiator heater. You open your windows all winter. You're crazy. Mona, you're a crazy girl. Not me. Now, if it got up to like 60 outside, I would probably open the doors for a little while, air things out. But it's got to be 60 or warmer. Oh, once a month? Okay, I get that. No, that works too. Is Nicola still home or is he back out on the boat? Oh, I see. Hello, Nico. How's it going? Get all your Legos done, made? Been doing a lot of that. All right. Hi, Linda. Oh, nice. Oh, good, good, good. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and go. So, what is today's Monday, the 29th? I'll try to come back on again this week and before Sunday. But if I don't see you before, Happy New Year. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas or Happy Holiday, whichever, whichever you do. We did. We had ham this year, not turkey. I tried to find a little turkey down at the store, but I just wanted like the breast and a leg. They didn't have that down there, so. And the only turkeys they had were like, 25-pound turkeys. Too big. I just would want a little turkey. It was great to see everybody. Okay, Katie. Thank you, Kathy. Okie doke. I know I keep saying time to go. I'm just so full of energy. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being patient with me. Okay, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Remember, be kind. Adios.